welcome to Wealth Builders. Today we have here Senor Oscar Ladino from Reinvestar Capital. So Oscar, thank you very much to come over here.
Thank you, Danny.
It's a pleasure
Thank you for
to
having
have
us
you.
here.
So
Yes.
let's talk about a little bit about using financing for development, for building houses, building projects. And I know you're very knowledgeable about that. And can you give us a little bit insight of, what you've seen outside, customers that you deal with, people, so we can, go from
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much for the opportunity. But so we come across a lot of questions. A lot of people are questioning the fact that should we finance? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to invest? And my answer to everybody is it's always a good time to buy. It's always a good time to invest because your money is more, when you're multiplying your money, it's better than just having it sitting down and not doing anything. So, from that point of view, investing is great. And we have something particular in Florida that investing in real estate is not like investing in the rest of the country. We have people coming from all over the world to Florida. A lot of people from Latin America that are coming in, and for different political situations or whatever the fact is, they want to invest, they need to invest, and it's been an opportunity because it's keeping the market really stable, and it's a good market to be in right now.
Of course, we over here with our company and our business, or as a builder, as a developer too, we talk to a lot of people. A lot of people approach us and ask about, hey, they don't understand a lot of times getting financed. There's old schoolers out there. They so scared to get money from banks or from private lenders or what kind of capital lenders, and we, they have that thing in the back in their mind, say, don't do it. You're gonna lose money. It's not worth it because you can do it. You can do the whole house and with your cash. Don't do it. And we tell them that the reason a lot of the people grow fast is because they use the leverage. And one thing that we tell them, we with one house you can go to three houses at the same time, diversify your investment
with the same amount of money.
With the same amount of money. Is it yes. $200,000 here? Instead of building one house, they could have built three at the same time. Diversify the risk. Diversify the way they can make money. Less, it's just a better deal.
So that's a perfect example of what you just said, because we did it previously with one of your clients, with your investors. He was investing, I think it was $200,000 into one property. So going back to whatever we were talking about, the history of investing in Latin America has been like not such a good result because people think that investing or using leverage from a bank is going to be the same way that it is down in Latin America or in other countries, where the banks are ready to get the property. Not in America, not here. We actually, when we lend money, we're not interested on acquiring the asset. Obviously, that is the security, right? Because the collateral, we need to lend on it. But the goal here is to allow your investor to grow. And in order to grow, you need what's called leverage. And the leverage is the ability to expand yourself. Instead of doing one property, like we did with your guy, we did 4 properties. So with the same amount of money that he used for one property last year, now this year he's using 4 properties. He's going to multiply the profits. And the risk is going to be lower because it's going to be spread out. So, it's like very simple. Like I tell everybody, you have a piece of bread and then you're going to have a piece of butter. So what do? You spread it out, right? Because if you have a big chunk of butter, what's going to happen to you? It's hard to swallow. So that's pretty much a good concept for you to understand. For all the investors, if you got a piece of bread and you spread it out, that's your leverage. So the more leverage that you have, the better it is because you can cover more properties.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's what we see all the time. So like today we have a customers of us that he was going to start 5 property. Now he's over 20. And the good thing is that it's more money. I tell a lot of those that, if they expect a profit to be around 20% and they're paying 10% to the bank. So one property, they have they're gonna make 20% in one single property, right? So if they do 4 with the same money, they'll make less. But let's say it's not 20 anymore; it's gonna be 12, but it's 12 times 4. So
Exactly.
the 20% they were working one, now they're making 40, 50%. When you add everything up to the one property. So that's the
Yes.
difference leverage that we explain all of them. Sometimes they don't understand because of that thing in the back of their mind is it's more risk, and it's not. It's the other way around. It's less risk because now you diversify your risk, because risk in construction or in development, it's problems. It's not the
always.
bank. The bank's not always the problem that you're gonna have. The bank could be the end problem, because if you don't build it, if you don't on time and everything, there's a little bit more interest. But the problem that you have in construction, it's the step by step on the construction site. So if
Correct.
the problems are there, So and it happen all the time. So when you go from 1 to 4, you leverage your risk in 4 property. So I don't know, worst case scenario, if you break even
Break
in one
even in
property,
one,
the other 3 still make a
you're
profit.
making money.
Yes.
Yes.
So even if in that case scenario, if you make, instead of making 20 in one or 10 in 3, you'd still make 30% and you have less risk. So I explained to them, so a lot of times it's that thing that they scare of it, right?
Yeah, I think it's
but after
more-
they do the
more-
first one, the second one, oof, they just
It's
want to keep
like-
on doing it.
Yeah, it's like when they tasted a little bit, and now
Yes.
they're very happy. And obviously with the contribution of a good builder like you guys, it's helping the investors. So there's different process and different programs and all of that that the investors in a coalition with the builder can get going on different programs. So it's been very profitable for the investors these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you seeing the market going with all this? There's a lot of property going there and here, because construction going on. Is there any place that you say, hey, this is good, this is bad, do more this, or even on the aspect of financing, more a single family, or you more like, hey, it's for you if you want to build a wealth, or you want to build a portfolio of rental, go to multifamily. What's your suggestion now?
There's a lot of it kind of depends on what type of investor you have. But lately I've seen a lot of investors that are holding on to the properties for rental. So we have those type of programs as well. When you actually build the property, and at the end you can either sell the property, or if you decide, you can keep it for rental. It's either or. At the end, I do believe that everybody wants to have a portfolio. Everybody would like to have that rental residual income coming in every month. So I think that the smaller investors are probably looking at coming in, build, and sell. But when you get to a place that you feel comfortable doing it, the goal should be to stay with the properties and continue the market rental, and control communities if it gets to that point. So,
one of the things that we've been doing lately, you will hear with multifamily, small multifamily, talking about 20 units, and it's build it, finance through financing, get a mortgage, take your money, go to the next one. So that way you'll be portfolio, right?
That's
so even
correct.
you can do that for single family homes, multifamily, but then you build, you get a mortgage, get your money, cash out, go for the next one. And then you have that property listed, rented, and it's you make your money. It's a new construction, so there's no
Correct.
headache for the next 10 years. No maintenance.
no maintenance.
Yeah, so
Very
you can
low
keep
maintenance.
very low maintenance. The only maintenance you have is damage done by the renter, not something
It's actually that program. There's a term in the industry, and it's called BRRRR, because you buy, you rehab it, or you build it, you rent it, you refinance it, and you redo the thing again.
Yes.
So it's BRRRR. So just when somebody refers to you as a BRRRR, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
You buy property, you fix it, you build it, you rent it, you refinance it, and then you repeat. So
And you
it's
keep
just
on
a whole-
going the
and you keep
cycle.
on doing it, because at the end, the money that you put in there, you pull it out. Now you have all your money in your pocket,
And you own a property.
And you own a property.
And
So now
that's-
the surplus is just going to be there for whenever you want to refinance in
and
the
you
future.
have your equity going up because
Yeah.
the house keep going up, the value.
Correct.
You have your renting going up, and that's how people build a lot of portfolio. That's when you see people over there in TVs and say, "How do I have the guy have 200 houses? The other one have," because they started. They started
started.
one, they went to two, they jump up to four, and with leverage, So we go in little scenario. The guy had $200,000 or 300 or whatever it is. Instead of building one, he was building four now.
Yeah.
So
when he finished, he'd refinance all the
he
four.
finance all four,
put
go
his
to
money-
four more, make some cash, take the same investment, go over there, four more.
Correct.
In 2-3 years, he already owned 50 houses.
Yeah.
And that's what people
That's
don't
what
see
it-
it as a, hey,
Yeah.
how does it build portfolio so fast? And you don't have to go all that crazy, tax deeds, go over there. You can do all that with the new construction. Or
The new construction is a great product because, like you say, you build it and there's very low maintenance.
Yes.
So imagine a house that it's an old rehab house versus a brand new property. If you if you rent an older home, most likely they're going to be calling you every month. Hey, this is wrong, this is wrong. But when you have a brand new property, they're
Yes.
not going to call you.
I have
Everything
that
is gonna be-
scenario going on with my dad. He bought a little subdivision, 20 townhouses. Every month he has a guy over there twice, two guys working daily, just fixing problems.
Just fixing problems.
Just fixing problems.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna sell it. We're gonna build another one in his other property. It's gonna have 50 units, and normally it's very low maintenance. Just one person will handle 50 because little detail here and there. And of course, when you build for sale, you build for sale. You don't gonna put the expensive appliance. You're not all the expensive.
Correct.
You put high traffic flooring. You put the appliance. They're gonna take the hit. That's
So
gonna stay there for long.
that's an answer that you have to a lot of the questions that people are probably asking, and it is, why would I spend, more money on a brand new home if I'm just gonna rent it? But it is just the fact that when you do it, you have a peace of mind. You have a product that is going to be maintenance free for at least 7 years. And at that point, your equity on that property is going to be tremendous.
Yes.
At that time, you probably sell the inventory and then buy the larger one, or refinance and get all your money out, get more money out, because now you don't have any money in there, and that's a good process. Yeah. But that all of that, we're able to do for your investors, and we have different programs, for foreign nationals, for people that live
Yes.
in the U.S. and some people that don't have an excellent credit, but we still have the ability to do that. Probably different terms, and I think that in the next occasion.
No, we have one
yeah.
for investors that he already owned 22 property now, all for rent.
Exactly.
He started instead of one, he started a few. We leverage, we build it, we do the finance, and you keep going, just keep going. It's been 2 years, already 22 properties, and it's just growing. So the guy is back over there in Argentina, just chilling, making
Getting the US
getting
dollar.
getting
the US
US
dollar.
dollars.
That's good.
He's very happy over there, and that's the way it is. It's just money that he could be making over here with the market. It's in Ocala, easy houses, rentable houses,
Very rentable. Yes.
very rentable, good market. And that's the way. Like sometimes a lot of times we see it with investors or customers, or say, what do you want? What's your goal? What's your plan? We're gonna build a portfolio. You want to do rental? We gotta go that way. I want to just build and sell. You're gonna build this kind of house to sell it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that you have to really kind of talk to the investors and understand what they want in order for us to help them better. Because if somebody just wants to come in, build, and sell, it's one strategy, right? But if you really want to build a portfolio, then we have to look at different angles. A nice partnership, some equity into the deals, different strategies and different ways that we can do in order to build a portfolio for somebody, and then not having just one property, but at the end having 40, 50, 60 properties, which is very easy to do if you follow the footsteps.
Yes, and it's been doing it. We've seen a guys that's increasing the number of property they want, all depending how much you want to take out every year, right? Because they want to make their money in. If they already own something else, they don't have to take their money out. It's just the way they grow their portfolio is so super fast.
You had a question about before about the process, right? Like
Yes,
that was
yes.
something.
So explain a little bit about the process. How does it work? What do you how?
So basically, it's very simple. To be honest with you, I mean, the process in acquiring real estate in Latin America, especially, and I talk about Latin America because I'm, obviously from Colombia myself. But then acquiring a property down in Latin America, it's a huge problem. You need a lot of equity, you need to put a lot of money, then it's not as easy as you walk into a place and then, if you qualify, then you get it. Down there, you have to know the owner of the bank. You have to be, they have to
Involved.
send you. They got involved. Yeah, it's a bunch of things that have to happen. Here is pretty simple. You have some, money that you're gonna back up the property with. We need a property, obviously. We need a lot. We need a piece of land that we're gonna lend money onto in order to build. And through the process with the builder, then we'll get to the financing in place. So anybody that has a decent amount of money, and when I talk about decent, probably $100,000, they should be able to start with the first project. In a coalition with the builder, with you guys, they come in and they partner up with you in order to build it, and you run the whole program. We don't care that they live in another place. We don't care that they're not active in real estate. They could be just a dentist, a doctor, a mechanic, anybody. As long as we have somebody responsible, and in that case would be DGC, that it would
The
be
builder,
the
the
builder,
developer.
the developer, exactly. So that's and that would be the process, right? I mean, so you guys would qualify because we already know you, and then so we lend in the money to the two of you, and then it just gets developed into a new project. You finish, you pay the money out, and then you go for the next one. That's pretty simple. That's how it is. So the process is not as complicated as you think. We can make it very simple, and with the help of a good company right here, we can definitely make it happen.
Of course, and that's what we tell everybody. It's doable. Everything is doable as long as it makes sense. As long as it's everything in paper. The bank understand, they understand, and everybody can move along. There is one thing that also. So normally, we gotta buy the property. So the investor come with the property money. So the first scenario.
Usually the
normally,
investor comes in
we
with
buy the
money.
property and then we go to the bank with a project, what is set for that
Correct.
property. Should we wait for the permits?
Yeah, usually the way we do it, or the way I will, as a bank, we would like to see it, is that you already have the permits in order to close. And then usually the investor comes in, buys the property, supplies the money for the permits, everything, and then we come in and then we start, funding the project.
Okay.
And we advise it to do it that way because you don't know how long it's going to take to do a permit.
Permits.
I mean, you guys are more experienced, right?
course.
Sometimes it's a month, 30 days, sometimes it's 6 months. You never
Depends
know,
where
really.
in the place.
Depends where and what kind of project you're doing. But that would be the process, right? So you acquire the land, then you get the permits, and then we'll come in as a lender and then just supply you with the money throughout the process until the end of the construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your process, what's the market going on ratio, the LTVs and ARVs?
So the LTVs and ARVs, which is a terminology that we use all the time, but I'm not sure if a lot of the investors would
So
know
what
that.
they mean?
So LTV means loan to value, basically, and then ARV is the after repair value. So the LTV depends a lot on the experience that this investor has. Oh, but Oscar, I don't have any experience. Well, that's why we have a builder right here, because the builder can help you out with the experience that you need. And at that point, you're gonna get the best benefit out of it because you're gonna get the best rates, you're gonna get the best leverage, the maximum, the maximum LTV is gonna be through somebody like you. If somebody walks out of the street and then asking for money, we might be able to do it, but it's gonna be very hard, and then the terms are gonna be a lot harder on them. So that's why it's a good coalition to work with you on that.
So that's why a lot of investors, let's partner up. We do a profit sharing. So that way they don't need to be qualified because
Correct.
sometimes they can.
Correct.
We have a scenario going on here in Orlando. I'm not going to say names, but the people that bought properties, they started a whole bunch. You see, put millions of dollars in and they went into the bank and say, "Hey, I got permits. I started those. I need $10 million." And now
Yeah.
they spend $3 million, and the bank turns to them and say, what have you done? What's your experience? What they say? No, I haven't, but they spent $3 million yet, and they say
that doesn't
mean
matter.
anything.
The biggest misunderstanding in America to build is called experience. So the banks are not really looking that you put a lot of money up front. Sometimes they don't even care that you put a lot more money. They just want to make sure that you have experience, that you're able to navigate through the issues if something comes up. If you have they move the trusses, right? They put them out, a foot on the right instead of whatever it was supposed to be. You have to have the ability to fix those issues. And as a first-time investors, a lot of people don't do it. They don't know. They don't know how to do it. They don't know anything. And that's when it just becomes a really good, valuable concept to partner up with a builder and develop it. So that's how we organize a lot of the funding is with the builders.
Yeah.
So.
No, we have that a lot, as I said. And it comes the same idea with the leverage. Instead of one, you have four. The builder likes it because they say, hey, if one goes down, worst case scenario, you got even, you still make money. The other one, it's still paying me, or you get experience to deal with that.
Correct.
You're not gonna just get stuck over there, not know how to do it. You can finish the project because the bank doesn't want your property. He don't want a property halfway done. He wants a proper finish. So you can sell it and he can make his money.
Or they can rent it.
Or
if
they
that
can
is
rent
the case,
it.
if they end up
but
taking
that's
it
the
over.
thing but if it's not finished, if you get out, you want to walk away, some reason the bank gotta finish so they can, finish it off. Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of stuff to learn.
A lot.
I think you got to come back over here. One thing that we need to do is have our whiteboard, work it out, show the people the numbers. Because a lot of times we talk about the concept of rent, leveraging with the money, but I think we need to show that in numbers. A lot of people, it's easy to look at it and, hey, let me put some numbers together and see. So how can it make sense? Because there's a lot of people scared, right? But when they see the number, that makes sense. So it's so easy to understand the concept of leveraging.
Listen, I'm open to anytime, thank you. And whenever you're ready, just let me know and put the board up here and we'll start doing little numbers.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Danny.
Nice to have you
Appreciate
again.
that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being part of our podcast and see you next time.